In this video, we're going to talk about how to find setups with Edge. In the video, what is Edge and why we need it, I explained the importance of a strategy having Edge and how Edge supersedes psychology, risk management, and performance. For the sake of reminding you about its importance, I placed the cart before the horse analogy here to ensure that you keep this in the forefront of your mind. You should always be asking yourself, is my current pair showing me opportunities with Edge? Are the market conditions providing situations that have Edge? And does my current strategy have an edge? Sometimes in the heat of trading, we take a C-grade setup that doesn't provide us edge in the market. Thinking about edge and sticking to our playbook will give us the best possible outcome, right? So let me review again, what is edge? In layman terms, an edge is a strategy that gives you a profit advantage in the market. In order to earn profit over time, it is necessary to use a trading strategy that has a trading edge to help the probabilities tilt in your favor over a series of trades. The technical definition is a trade or strategy that has positive expected value, EV greater than 0. Expected value equals the probability of winning times the amount that you gain, right? Minus the probability of loss times the amount that you lose, right? So I like to show this picture as an analogy. LeBron has way more edge than I do in regards to basketball, right? And Kanye is unknown here. We want to find the LeBrons of the market, which, by the way, are rare, but we want to find these, right? Now, there are a lot of people that have never made it to the league. You'll never find those people, right? There's a lot of noise when it comes to people trying to scout and find a LeBron. This is the same in the market. The market has plenty of pairs and stocks and currencies and securities to trade, but the majority of them are noise, right? So likewise, there are many strategies that have no edge, or we haven't personally gathered enough data to confidently trade them. In this video, I will share with you how we find setups with edge and how to validate them. So first, let's talk about how to find them. There are 4 common methods that you can use to find setups that have edge. Some of these are faster than others. I want you to make you aware of these methods so that you can be free to grow and expand as you hit your trading milestones, right? So this part of this video will be very technical and you may have to watch it several times, but it's very useful. The first method is observation. If you want to find edge, you can actively observe patterns in price action during the trading day. The pros of this is it doesn't take a large financial investment. You can watch TradingView and it's accessible to everyone. The cons are that the win rate is normally low this way, and it takes time to yield results. It takes time to find setups this way because of what is called survival bias, right? Sometimes we see one thing that hits and we think that it's edge, but if you try to pressure test it against several different market conditions, or you try to find it, that same exact scenario doesn't plan out, right? So the next way, number 2, is from hypothesis, some idea based on logic that you can backtest and forward test to see if it holds true in the market. This is normally an idea that comes to mind due to having experience in the market. I'll talk about all of these in greater detail in a minute. So the pros of this is that it's also accessible to everyone, right? And since it's based on experience, it may have a greater win rate. The cons is it may take a long time to validate its aggregate occurrence, right? So, those are the first 2. The next one is reverse engineering past moves from historical data, right? To see if you can develop a system from them. For example, if you look at news releases from CPI and determine that you always see a big move with your pair, you could take that move and backtest all the CPI releases to see if there's a reliable edge during CPI, right? The pros of this is that you can potentially have a high win rate, and that the big securities, the currencies, the indices that are affected, it's normally easy to find those currencies because you can look at CPI, the date that it releases, and then just go and look at the increase in the market using a scanner, right? You can go to some of these websites and you can scan the market to see the increase in price at a certain time. So that's an easy way to find the big moving stocks. You can say, give me the top stock, indice, currency that increase on this particular day at this particular time, right? So that's a positive. The con is that you can have some false positives there. What I mean by false positives is you can have, maybe it'll hit, maybe 2 or 3 times, right? For example, let's say you review the last 3 CPI releases and they all have the same outcome for 3 times, but the pattern doesn't hold true beyond the last 3, right? So if person isn't careful, they can mistake 3 occurrences for edge, right? Which it's not. So the last is the fastest. The last of these is the fastest and easiest, but hardest to reach. The fourth one, the last one, is to mimic the pros. Mimic someone else with a well-defined edge. Copying and trading, there's nothing wrong with it. We should be unoriginal. We need to find the best, most established setups that stand time and that work in different market conditions, right? So the pros of this way is it is faster and already has an established win rate. Cons is it can be challenging to find someone with reliable edge, right? So solid mentorship can be hard to reach. And that's the reason why you're here, right? You're here because I passed several prop firm challenges. You found someone that have already done what you want to do, which is good. And I'm going to share my edge. I'll share the edges that I continue to use to pass more challenges. And then you can choose to take those as a starting point and then modify them, change them to fit your personality, change certain variables to fit your pair. And that will cut down the learning curve, right? So let's dive into these a little deeper. So as you build out your playbook, you can choose which of these methods may work best for you. And you have the freedom to grow and expand your playbook because you have a framework to work from.